If you've ever stared at the endless list of robot vacuums and wondered which one will actually stick around the kitchen, survive the dog hair avalanche, and not bleed your wallet dry, you're not alone. Most people just want a clean floor without the hassle of constant maintenance, and they need something that can blend into daily life without becoming a new source of stress. The challenge is that many of the high-tech promises like a 20,000 pascal suction or a AI-driven navigation system often hide the real day-to-day experience. Will the unit really empty itself often enough? Can it dodge the socks and Lego pieces that litter a family home? And, perhaps most importantly, does the price match the actual benefit you'll see in a week of use? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the past month living with the roborock Qrevo Curv S5X, testing it on hardwood, low-pile carpet, and the occasional spill-soaked rug. In the beginning, the most common hesitation I heard from friends was the fear of a robot that sounds like a small jet engine and spends all day chewing on cords. Those worries are valid. The last thing you want is a machine that disrupts your evening routine or constantly snarls on the pet hair you're trying to get rid of. So let's talk about what the Curv S5X actually does in the real world, where it shines, where it falls short, and who should consider adding it to their cleaning arsenal. First off, the suction power is advertised at 18,500 pascals, which puts it in the upper tier of residential robot vacuums. In practice, that means the unit pulls more debris from low-pile carpet than most competitors I've tried. On a weekly basis, I noticed it picking up a noticeable amount of pet dander and cereal crumbs that usually sit just under the surface on my living room rug. The enhanced carpet care mode automatically ramps up suction when it detects a thicker pile, so you don't have to toggle settings manually. This is a genuine convenience for anyone who hates fiddling with menus every time you switch between hardwood and carpet. One of the biggest selling points is the Zero-Tangling dual brush system. Traditional side brushes can quickly get tangled in long hair or yarn, turning cleaning day into a nightmare of pulling fibers out of the brush. The Curv S5X uses a combination of flexible bristles and a self-cleaning mechanism that reduces the chance of a hair knot forming. Over the 4 weeks I used it, I only had to pause the cleaning twice to clear a small snag. Both were quick fixes. If you have a dog that sheds heavily, or a household with kids who like to leave craft supplies on the floor, this feature actually saves you a few minutes each week. Obstacle avoidance is another area where the unit tries to differentiate itself. The Reactive tech system employs infrared sensors and a short-range depth camera to spot obstacles and change course on the fly. In a typical apartment layout, that translates to fewer bumps on furniture legs and a smoother glide around kitchen islands. I did notice a slight hesitation when the robot encountered a cluttered hallway with many small items, think shoes, toys, and magazines. It would pause, spin, and sometimes backtrack a few steps before finding a clear path. While it never got stuck, the extra maneuvering added a couple of minutes to the cleaning cycle, which is worth noting if you're impatient about fast turnaround times. Now, let's talk about the multifunctional dock 3.0. This is the hub where the robot empties its dustbin, refills its water reservoir for mopping, and even gets a quick brush clean. The promise is a 10-week self-emptying period, meaning you won't have to dump the bin as often. In reality, the bin emptied itself roughly every 4 to 5 days depending on foot traffic, which is still better than having to manually empty after every run. The dock's auto-washing feature for hard floors is handy if you run a nightly mop mode, but the water tank is only 250 milliliters. So after a long cleaning of a 1,000 square feet area, the mop section can run out of water mid-cycle, requiring you to manually refill. If your home is largely carpet, you'll barely notice this. If you rely heavily on mopping, you'll get used to topping off once or twice a week. Battery life is solid for a unit of this size. It runs about 2.5 hours on a single charge, which is enough to cover a medium apartment without returning to the dock prematurely. When the battery dips low, the robot automatically heads back, recharges, and resumes where it left off. The only drawback is that the pause and resume isn't seamless. There's a brief interval while the unit recalibrates its map, and you might see a tiny stripe missed on the floor. In a home where you need spotless results, that could be a minor annoyance. Who should buy the Curv S5X? If you have a mixed floor home, hardwood in the kitchen, low-pile carpet in the bedroom, and occasional rugs in the hallway, and you're looking for a machine that can handle both vacuuming and light mopping without frequent manual